What should you do when severe weather strikes? Stay tuned as the station that tracks storms brings you a severe weather special. Learn what to do to be safe in a storm. From KTXS Chief Meteorologist and severe weather expert Mark Rowlett. And meteorologist Julie Phillips and Chelsea Humphrey. Brought to you by Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union and Taylor Electric Cooperative.
Welcome to the KTXS 2012 Spring Weather Special. I'm KTXS Chief Meteorologist Mark Rowlett, along with meteorologist Julie Phillips and meteorologist Chelsea Humphrey. In this half-hour special, we're going to take you through everything you need to know about severe weather to keep your family safe this season.
Severe weather season has just begun, so now is the time to refamiliarize yourself with safety tips and prepare your family. Living in West Texas, we all know the weather can change quickly, and we're not immune to dangerous storms that can produce damaging winds or even tornadoes.
2011 brought severe winds, multiple tornado touchdowns, and baseball-sized hail. And whatever this year brings, you can be sure the KTXS weather team will be here tracking it.
Our commitment to tracking storms means we're here whenever storms strike. At 3 o'clock in the morning or at dinner time, you can count on us. Let's get right to one of the most powerful weather phenomena, tornadoes.
We all know what tornadoes look like, but what exactly is one?
Tornadoes like this are violently rotating columns of air that start as a funnel cloud and then become tornadoes once they touch down. The death toll from tornadoes nationwide last year topped 500, making it the second deadliest year on record. Tornado outbreaks in Alabama last spring and the deadly Joplin tornado continue to make headlines and bring national attention to preparedness. From now until June is when the most tornadoes usually occur, but they can form any time of the year when conditions are right. Violent tornadoes are considered EF4 and EF5s that cause significant damage and result in 70% of all deaths. The strongest tornadic winds and violent tornadoes can top 200 miles per hour. Fortunately, these are very rare, and the majority of tornadoes have winds that are less than 110 miles per hour. These are very survivable when you take proper shelter. So, what should you do when a tornado strikes? First, get inside a sturdy building. Be sure to stay on the lowest floor. It's best to get inside a small room like a bathroom, closet, or hallway. If there is time, cover yourself with a thick blanket.
Stay away from windows too, and remember, mobile homes are not safe places. If you do live in one, have a plan in place of where you should go in the event of a tornado.
Here in the Big Country, we're no stranger to tornadoes. Taking a look back at last Easter, we remember when there were multiple tornado touchdowns confirmed in our area. When springtime comes, we know we can get nasty storms in West Texas. And on Easter Sunday, it was the perfect storm. A front draped across the Big Country, the dry line just to Abilene's west, and a warm, moist air coming up from the Gulf of Mexico sparked severe storms. The first tornado of the day hit just north of Baird, and thankfully the surveyed damage was mostly just downed limbs. When it was all said and done, 7 tornadoes touched down on Easter Sunday, including this multi-vortex also near Baird. Thankfully, there was no damage reported from the twister since all the tornadoes were in rural areas and smaller tornadoes, deemed EF0. The real destruction from the storms came from the hailstorm that hit Abilene. Hail that reached the size of softballs caused extensive damage to cars and roofs across Abilene.
It's not just tornadoes and hail that cause major damage to property and home. Straight-line winds can wreak havoc as well. Take a look at the aftermath of a severe storm that hit Clyde last May. Residents here thought a tornado had uprooted trees and knocked out power, but this damage was all from straight-line winds during a microburst. Winds are estimated to have been blasting at 80 miles per hour or more. The force of the winds destroyed one mobile home and blew a couple of other mobile homes off their foundations. Straight-line winds also caused damage in Sweetwater last August, blowing the canopy off an old gas station and damaging a small shed. The National Weather Service were the ones that determined that a microburst was likely what happened in Clyde. But what is a microburst or a downburst? KTXS meteorologist Julie Phillips explains.
They can do as much damage as one of these, but they're called a microburst and are very different.
In the case of the microburst, they can be a little more invisible to radar. They can form very quickly, And so we can see the signature of them once they're forming.
Which means there is often no advance notice before they cause damage like this in Clyde. Another difference? Tornadoes mean rotating winds and microbursts are straight line. Typically during a thunderstorm, a microburst is a downdraft of air that comes down with speeds of 20 to 40 miles per hour only in certain specific conditions.
Look for the elevated cloud base, that's one, and or a very dry lower layer. And in the case of the Clyde event, we had a very dry lower layer.
This kind of atmosphere allows falling rain to evaporate, cooling the air, which powers the downdraft before it hits the ground and spreads out.
When it spreads out, it can be very fast. Those winds can reach well over 100 miles per hour at the ground.
And with winds over 100 miles per hour possible, it's easy to see how this phenomena can cause as much damage as an EF2 tornado.
Now that you've seen the damage that severe storms can cause, it's important to understand the watches and warnings issued for these events to stay safe. The first sign that severe weather may be on the way is a weather watch. A watch means that severe weather is likely, but not necessarily occurring at that moment. Pay attention to the timing of the watch to know when severe weather should arrive. Watches give you heads up to possible tornadoes, severe thunderstorms, and winter weather later in the day. A weather warning is more urgent. This means that the severe weather is already happening or about to occur. You should take cover immediately if this is issued for your county. A thunderstorm is classified as severe if it has quarter-size hail, 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater, or produces a tornado. The watches and warnings issued by the National Weather Service can save your life, but only if you have ways to receive them. One of the best ways to receive those and other weather information is the NOAA Weather Radio.
Here is the Abilene area forecast.
These small radios will keep you informed even if you're asleep or your power goes off. Weather radios like this will sound an alarm when dangerous weather is approaching. In fact, you can actually program the radio to only sound the alarm for weather affecting your specific county. Pretty neat. That way, you'll never be in the dark when it comes to severe weather.
Another way to get weather alerts is through Code Red. If you live in Taylor County, be sure to sign up for this if you haven't already. Code Red is a great alert system that informs you of severe weather and other emergency situations. It automatically calls you, and a pre-recorded message gives you the details of the warning. You can sign up for this by going to AbileneTX.com and clicking here, or you may call 325-676-6525. Here in the Big Country, we see just about every type of weather Mother Nature can send. In our neck of the woods, severe weather can threaten lives across the Big Country year-round. But do you know which of these is the #1 weather-related killer in the United States? We'll have the answer after the break.
The KTXS Storm Tracking Weather Special is brought to you by Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union.
No matter who you are, at some point, you've enriched others by teaching. You see, teachers guide, giving clear direction and focus. Teachers provide discipline, creating strength and reliability. At Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union, we know there's a teacher in all of us. And by working together, we can make a difference. Join us at Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union today, where everyone's a teacher.
You know, it's funny. We've never talked about saving energy. But somehow, she just knew. Your Touchstone Energy Cooperative can teach you how to save energy and money at togetherwesave.com.
Taylor Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
The KTXS Storm Tracking Weather Special is brought to you by Taylor Electric Cooperative.
The answer is floods. Floods are the #1 weather-related killer in the United States. The annual average is 95, but in 2011 there were over 110 fatalities. Our part of Texas is located in Flash Flood Alley and accounts for more flood-related deaths than any other flash flood-prone area in the United States. One of the most overlooked severe weather events is flash flooding, even though, as we mentioned, it is the #1 weather hazard. Flash floods like this can happen when a slow-moving storm produces large rainfall amounts over one area or when storms continue to pass over the same area. The majority of flood-related deaths are vehicle-related. That's why it's so important to remember, turn around, don't drown. Only 2 feet of water can float away most vehicles, including SUVs and pickup trucks.
One of the worst flooding events that happened in our own backyard in recent years was caused by Tropical Storm Erin.
1400 block of North Willis.
In 2007, Tropical Storm Erin downgraded to a depression as it swept through the Big Country, but first caused significant flooding and brought chaos to the region. 6 to 9 inches of rain piled up on city streets, stranding motorists and causing threats for disease. There were numerous road closures, evacuations, and unfortunately, the loss of a life. KTXS meteorologists work hard every day to bring you the most accurate weather information. The KTXS Storm Tracker HD Weather Center is equipped with all of the latest equipment, all designed to give us up-to-the-minute information to help track severe storms. In the Weather Center, we have several different computers, all designed to handle different aspects of the weather. Our single-site computer handles weather information that comes in from weather stations all over the Big Country. We program all of the crawls you see during active weather on this computer using local watches and warnings. This is where we analyze the weather data that go into the creation of our forecasts. These monitors display the local radar and give us the most current storm information. For severe weather season, you can also select certain features of interest like hailstones or lightning strikes. We use these computers to put together the weathercasts you see every day on KTXS. Once we get done forecasting, we put that weather information into easy-to-understand terms and graphics for you.
One of the big changes for KTXS weather this year has been our new HD weather graphics. Here's a sneak peek. KTXS went HD in August, and that meant the weather team was able to upgrade to a new weather system called TrueView Max. These graphics look sharper in HD and allow us to track storms even better. We can use the storm cone to show you where the storm is heading and pinpoint the cities in its path and the times that they will hit. We can instantly plot any severe weather warnings and watches across the country with a click of the mouse. In severe weather, you have to work fast, and our new graphics allow us to do just that with our quick radar moves. We can also quickly layer on maps showing us cloud top heights, wind shear, and even precipitation estimates. All of these help us give you better storm coverage.
Even if you're not able to catch our KTXS weather broadcast, you can still receive our weather information. The latest addition to KTXS Weather is the KTXS Weather app, now available on iPad, iPhone, and Android smartphones. Search KTXS Television in the App Store on your smartphone and download the free app. You'll instantly have access to an interactive radar, an hour-by-hour forecast, and any warnings and watches for your area.
Every day, KTXS meteorologists also update the weather line so you can stay up to date on your forecast. You can hear that recording by calling 672-1312. When you call, you'll get the time, temperature, and the most up-to-date weather forecast from one of our meteorologists.
If you want 24-hour access to weather information on your television, KTXS has its own live Doppler radar channel.
If you have cable, it's channel 125. This channel provides you with a look at the radar across the Big Country. It also provides information on the forecast and current temperatures. Remember, KTXS is the only station in the Big Country that has its own Doppler radar. We haven't touched on winter weather yet, but it is a type of severe weather. Wintry precipitation, no matter what kind, is a dangerous piece of the winter puzzle. But do you know what makes sleet different from freezing rain? Well, after the break, we'll reveal the answer to that question and talk a whole lot more about the weather.
The KTXS Storm Tracking Weather Special is brought to you by Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union.
In these uncertain economic times, Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union is confident that we'll continue paying you higher interest rates on your savings accounts and charging you lower rates on your loans, just like we've done since 1950. Because we're locally owned, we're solid, so you can be confident that your money's safe in the good times, the bad times, and all times in between. Today, more than ever, count on Abilene Teachers Federal Credit Union, where everyone's a teacher.
I caulk to save money on my electric bills. And he does it because, well, I guess because I do it. Your Touchstone Energy Cooperative can teach you how to save energy and money at togetherwesave.com.
Taylor Electric, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
The KTXS Storm Tracking Weather Special is brought to you by Taylor Electric Cooperative.
Before the break, we asked about the difference between freezing rain and sleet. Well, freezing rain falls as liquid but freezes on contact because the surface is still below 32 degrees. Sleet is formed when raindrops fall through a layer of air that's below freezing and turn into teeny ice pellets before hitting the ground.
Thunderstorms are possible in our area any time of the year. They do bring a danger of lightning. Here are the facts. Lightning is 100 million volts of electricity that can easily strike 10 miles away from the thunderstorm. Over the past 30 years, lightning has killed an average of 58 people per year, making it the #2 weather-related killer. In addition, about 300 people are injured by lightning each year, many seriously. Every thunderstorm has lightning because it's the lightning that creates the thunder. In fact, you can tell how far away the lightning is in miles by counting the seconds between when you see the lightning and hear the thunder and dividing that number by 5. 10 seconds between the flash and the thunder means the lightning is only 2 miles away. If you can hear thunder, you are well within the range of the lightning striking you. When the thunder roars, get indoors. Inside is the place to be during a thunderstorm. Once inside, you should avoid using handheld appliances, plumbing, and even a corded telephone unless it's an emergency. If you can't get inside a building, get inside your car or truck and avoid touching metal objects in the vehicle. If you're really stuck outside, avoid metal objects like a barbed wire fence. Also, don't stand near a tall lone object like a telephone pole or a tall tree. And you should not be the tallest object in the field. Crouch down and let the storm pass. Once the storm passes, don't be in a hurry to get back outside. You should wait 30 minutes after the last clap of thunder before going back out. Besides hurting people and livestock, lightning also creates wildfires. One positive, lightning helps to put nitrogen in the rainwater, which is good for our crops. If someone is struck by lightning, they are safe to touch and should be given aid. Call 911 and perform CPR if the person is not breathing. Our live Doppler radar display also shows you the location of cloud-to-ground lightning in real time.
And a sometimes forgotten danger of lightning is its ability to start wildfires. Lightning was to blame for several wildfires last year that contributed to the worst wildfire season in Texas history. The weather plays a large part in the severity of each fire season. For one, the extreme drought that plagued the area last year provided dry fuel for fires like this one. Daily weather patterns can also elevate the fire danger, and during these days, a red flag warning is issued. Criteria for a red flag warning in West Texas are winds at 20 miles per hour for an hour or more, relative humidity that is less than 20%, and abnormally dry fuels also need to be present. The warning gives people a heads up that conditions are ideal for fires to start and spread rapidly.
Going hand in hand with the wildfire danger was the extreme drought we faced. The 2011 drought, in fact, was the worst one-year drought in Texas history. Let's take a look back at the tremendous impacts it had on us here in the Big Country.
Rainfall started to become a rare sight in Texas in the fall of 2010. Things only got worse through the summer of 2011 when record heat exacerbated the problem. One facet of the Texas economy that felt it the most was agriculture. The farmers and ranchers lost not millions, but over $5 billion in Texas in 2011. The Farm Service Agency estimated here in the Big Country, at least $80 million of that was lost from the nearly non-existent cotton crop alone. A lack of rain also meant dried up stock tanks and not enough grass and feed for cattle. This prompted the massive cattle sell-off across Texas. And those feeling the pain from the drought were not just out in the field, but also all businesses tied to local agriculture. Cotton gins had very little business this winter, and chemical suppliers also saw a huge drop in business. Even the little things like a green yard or a field of sunflowers became a rare find.
No one was spared from our record-breaking drought last year. Many of us saw weeks of 100-degree afternoon temperatures with no measurable rainfall. One area that you could really notice this was in our local lake levels. One of the hardest hit lakes in the area was Lake Brownwood. At its lowest over the summer, the lake was down to only 40% of capacity. Thanks to recent winter rains, the lake level has risen over 5 feet. Out west, Lake E.V. Spence, the lake that supplies water to Robert Lee, almost dried up this summer. An emergency pipeline is being built to neighboring Bront to make sure Robert Lee citizens will have water to drink.
Spring is right around the corner, and with our part of Texas still firmly in a drought, we're all wondering what lies ahead. Between August of 2010 and July of 2011, Texas saw its most severe one-year drought on record. All over the state, lakes dried up, vegetation died, and wildfires ravaged the landscape. For nearly 2 years, we've observed La Niña conditions, which historically lend themselves to the hot, dry conditions felt over most of the state. With the Climate Prediction Center calling for the end of this La Niña between March and May, there's a good chance this year won't be nearly as bad. The climate outlooks for the spring are predicting a good chance of warmer than normal temperatures, much like we've seen so far this year. We're also looking at a chance of below average precipitation as we head into the next few months, but hopefully this will be offset by the almost 2.5-inch surplus we've seen already for 2012. Thanks to the mild winter experienced across the big country, our severe weather season could even be slightly more active than normal. Last Easter, Abilene saw a devastating hailstorm. This storm dropped hailstones the size of golf balls and did hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage to private homes and local businesses. But do you know what caused these hailstones to form? After the break, we'll take a look at that answer. A while ago, we asked what causes the hailstones like the ones we saw last Easter. The answer is strong updrafts and downdrafts in thunderstorms. The quickly rising and sinking air within the storms allows the once microscopic hailstone to be recycled and grow until it finally falls to the ground. Here at KTXS, we think that it's not only important to give you the weather every day, but also to get out into the community and talk to local school kids about what they need to know about severe weather.
At KTXS, we organize and give weather talks to students of all ages and grade levels. Kids can learn everything from snowstorms to tornadoes and safety when it comes to Mother Nature's worst.
Not only do we go out to area schools, but we also open up the doors of KTXS for students to see what we do here.
Students of all ages are welcome to schedule a tour here at KTXS given by one of our meteorologists. The tour gives students a look at what it takes to put on a news broadcast. They also get to learn about all the different tools we have in our weather center, like the tower cam, which is usually the fan favorite.
If you have an interest in severe weather and want to help out your community, remember every year the National Weather Service hosts Skywarn Storm Spotter training classes. The class is completely free and teaches you everything about how thunderstorms and severe weather develops, and most importantly teaches you how to identify different features of a storm like wall clouds and tornadoes. This class will teach you how to relay your observations to not only the National Weather Service, but also to the media. During bad storms, this information is invaluable to us. This year's class in Abilene has already been held, but there's still a chance to attend classes in Sweetwater and Coleman.
If storm spotting isn't up your alley, there's one more way you can contribute to the KTXS weather team.
And that's by sending us your weather pictures. We love getting in any moment you can capture, and we'll share it on air for you. Not sure what to snap a photo of? Well, how about that gorgeous sunset, storm damage, ominous storm clouds, or even one of your four-legged friends out enjoying the weather?
Here at KTXS, we are committed to tracking storms to keep you and your family safe. Whether it's with our own Doppler weather radar or our Storm Tracker network, we work hard to bring you the latest weather forecast and storm tracking information. You can get that information right here on KTXS, on our website, ktxs.com, or on your smartphone with our free apps and email messages sent to you with the latest warnings for your county. We hope you got a refresher course on what to do when severe weather comes your way. We'll be here tracking it. Thanks for watching.